Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Tuesday morning because Chairman members cashed in on 5 different premium selections on my premium site yesterday. Great way to start a new week. We had the Suns, Mavs, Warriors, James Madison in college basketball. We also had the over in the Northern Kentucky game. And the only way you could access all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Chairman package. And I'll explain a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my NBA free pick video here today for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you got this new week started off good. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on my free videos that I actually like the best, you may want to think about joining my full access, all-inclusive Chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And of course, as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. And of course, you may be wondering once again what the difference is between what I do here on the free videos and what I do on my premium site. Well, what I do here for the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. And what I do on my premium site is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I actually like the best. I'm 2-0 my last 2 extra daily picks, 7-3 in my last 10 crowd pleaser teasers. And finally, folks, I'm 2-0 my last 2 board member tier package plays. And the good news is I had plays going off in all of those memberships here today, and they're all included with your purchase of the Chairman package. I currently have over 1,350 members who are signed up and active on my premium site right now. Once again, the site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we are going to dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Sixers at the Knicks, 7:30 p.m. East. New York's -5.5 at Madison Square Garden. Total is 208. Now, the Knicks are 21-13 in MSG, and they're tough to score against in front of their own fans. The Knicks allow fewer points a game at home than any other roster except for one. And they're facing a banged-up Philly team who's still going to work without Joel Embiid, Melton, and Covington. And out of their last 10 head-to-head gatherings with the Knicks, Philly's had a real tough time getting to the basket. The Sixers have been held to just 105 points a game during that time frame. 3 out of Philly's last 6 outings got over the total. Overs against the likes of the Grizzlies, Nets, and Hornets. Those are low-scoring teams, by the way. Give me New York -5.5, over 208. Next game, Pacers, Thunder, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. OKC's -6.5, totals 240 and a hook. And even though we got 2 of the best offensive teams in the game in this one, it's Oklahoma City who actually plays a little defense. These guys are in the top 3 in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage. And out of 32 contests in the Paycom Center this year, Oklahoma City's got a win percentage of .813. They're also facing a Pacer team on the other side who's struggled in out-of-conference play this year. They're 3-9 straight up in their last dozen road games against the West. When it comes to defensive play, that's been these guys' Achilles' heel. If they can just get a couple more stops, I'll tell you, this would be a even more well-rounded team. But anyway, when it comes to defensive play, the Pacers are the worst in the NBA right now in guarding the field goal. They currently have the highest defensive field goal percentage in the entire association. Now, injury-wise, Doug McDermott's out for the Pacers. Jalen Smith is questionable. Meanwhile, for OKC, they are mostly healthy except for Jalen Williams. He's day-to-day with that ankle injury. Now, OKC saw overs recently against the likes of Portland, San Antonio, and Washington. And out of 15 contests against Eastern Conference opponents, the over cashed in 71% of those games. Now, the Pacers saw overs recently against the likes of the Mavericks and Raptors. Give me OKC -6.5, over 240 and a hook. Next game, Wizards, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Washington's -3, totals 219. For a team who's favored by a basket on the road here, the Wizards are pretty awful. They took the loss in 8 out of their last 10, and they're currently 42 games below 500 for the season. And a lot of that shittiness comes from poor defensive play. They're dead last in points allowed per contest, dead last in defensive rebounding. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a Memphis club who has a winning record against the point spread against the Eastern Conference this year. And when it comes to defensive play, well, these guys are tough to score against, especially late. They're allowing fewer fourth quarter points than any other roster in the league. Now, injury-wise, Rose, Smart, Jackson, Watanabe, Clark, Bain, Zaire Williams, Vince Williams, and Scottie Pippen, they are all out. Goodwin, Stevens, and Concher are day-to-day. Meanwhile, for Washington, Shamet and Bagley are still out for them. Rashawn Holmes day-to-day with that toe. Now, total-wise, 6 out of the Wizards' last 10 ball games got over the number. Meanwhile, Memphis saw overs recently against the likes of the Sixers, Nets, and T-Wolves. Give me Memphis +3 over 219. Next game, Rockets, Spurs, 8:30 p.m. East. Houston's -3.5, totals 223. And this does feel like a generous number for Rockets bettors. They covered in their last 6 straight. They are incredibly tough to shoot against. Houston's currently in the top 5 in the West in defensive field goal percentage. And when it comes to guarding the long ball, well, even better. Houston's in the top 3 in defensive three-point percentage as well. They're facing a San Antonio team who's little threat shooting the deep ball themselves. They're actually in the bottom 5 in the league in that particular category. And when it comes to defensive play, the Spurs allow most of their points late in games. They're in the bottom 5 in second half points allowed. Now, C.D. Osman's still out for San Antonio. Sengun and Whitmore, they're inactive for Houston. The Rockets went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. They're also 61% to the under against Western Conference opponents on the road. Now, San Antonio saw unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. Give me Houston -3.5, under 223. Next game, Celtics, Jazz, 9 o'clock East. Boston's -6, totals 230.5. And despite the Celtics injury report, they do continue to roll. Winners of 8 out of their last 10 outings, 80% covering during that time frame. And when the Celtics are on the road, they love getting on the scoreboard. They're a top 5 point producing team on the road in the NBA. Jason Tatum averages a team-high 26 points a game. Jaylen Brown makes 50% of his attempts from the field. And they're facing a sputtering Utah team who lost 8 out of their last 10 themselves. They played some terrible defense during that time frame. As a matter of fact, the Jazz are allowing more made three-pointers a game against them than any other team in the NBA. And equally as bad, the Jazz really tend to bury themselves early. They're giving up more first-quarter points than any other roster in the league. Now, injury-wise, top scorer Lauri Markkanen's still out. Porter and Hendricks are inactive as well. Meanwhile, for the Celtics, Holiday and Porzingis are day-to-day. Keep an eye on them. Total-wise, the Celtics saw overs recently against the likes of the Nuggets, Mavericks, and Bulls. Meanwhile, Utah saw their last 4 straight get over the total themselves. Give me the Celtics -6, over 230.5. Next contest, Bucks, Kings, 10 o'clock East. Milwaukee's -2, totals 236. And I think the Bucks can exploit this Sacramento defensive effort. Milwaukee's a top 3 point producing team on the road. Top 5 in field goal percentage in that same category as well. Meanwhile, Sacramento on the other side, they've had some problems slowing anybody down in the Golden One Center. They're allowing 121 points a night in their own building. Their opponents are draining nearly 41% of their three-pointers against them at home. That is a league worst. And in these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings, it's been nothing but disaster for the Kings. They took the loss in every single one of those ball games. They allowed 132 points per contest on average during that stretch. Now, injury-wise, Keegan Murray's questionable for the Kings. Chris Middleton's day-to-day for the Bucks. And Milwaukee saw overs recently against the likes of the Clippers, Lakers, and Grizzlies. Meanwhile, Sacramento's gone 66% to the over at the Golden One Center. Meanwhile, give me Milwaukee -2 over 236. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. Going to be in that T-Wolves Clippers game, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. The LA Clippers are -7, totals 215. And even though the Clippers are good, they've had a tough time covering the point spread recently. They failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10. And they do have a losing record against the number in their in-conference ball games. And in their recent head-to-head gatherings with Minnesota, the Clippers failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 games during that span. And they're facing a Minnesota club who, well, if you're going to score against them, they're going to make you earn it. They allow fewer made field goals a game than any other roster in the league. And because of that, they lead the NBA right now in defensive points per game. Now, injury-wise, Gobert, Anderson, Morris, and Edwards are all questionable. Keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, for the Clippers, top scorers Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They're both day-to-day for them, both battling lower body injuries. 6 out of LA's last 9 stayed under the total. They're also 14-6 to the under in their in-conference home games. Now, Minnesota saw unders recently against the likes of the Pacers, Clippers, and Spurs. Give me Minnesota +7, under 215. With that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Knicks -5.5 over 208. Thunder -6.5 over 240 and a hook. Chairman members cashed in on 5 different premium selections on my premium site yesterday. The link for my Chairman package is in my bio. Memphis +3 over 219. Rockets -3.5 under 223. Celtics -6 over 230.5. Bucks -2 over 236. T-Wolves +7 under 215. That's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.